All right, welcome to this is kind of a first for us. This is a different kind of call, how to start a business. So thank you so much for taking the time to jump on this call with us tonight. I want you to know that if you were invited to this call, if you are on this call, it's likely because someone invited you and they think really highly of you. Our team started about 3 years ago, and we have grown really quickly for one really big reason that I believe is that good people know good people. So many teams in within Beachbody have asked us, like, what are you guys doing differently? Like, how are you guys growing? Like, what are you guys doing? And I truly believe it's the quality of humans and the quality of coaches that have joined us along the way. Because when I invited my friend Jen to start coaching, she started inviting women that she knows, and she knows great people, and so on and so forth. So I really hope that you are flattered that you were invited, because we really want to build this team with incredible, authentic women that want something more in their life. So, sorry, I'm still have to let everyone in this waiting room. I keep having to click on it. Okay, so tonight what we're going to do is there's 5 of us that are going to speak, and we are going to share with you guys sort of the 5 main pillars of what we think it takes to be a successful coach. I think there's a lot of women on here that have been maybe considering coaching, but either have some fears or think that maybe they wouldn't know what to do, or they wouldn't be good at it, and all those types of things. So we want to go over sort of 5 main areas that if you were to decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this, that you would feel prepared and you would feel like you are starting off knowing that you have a little bit of an idea of what it takes to be a good coach. So kind of like a 101. The very first category, and this is my absolute favorite, I think that it is the most beautiful thing about coaching, is that you are required to live healthier and happier. When I started coaching 3 years ago, I had just delivered my second baby. I was up 75 pounds with both kids. And honestly, I'd never worked out a day in my life. I was a huge partier, drinker, drugs, so many habits in my life that I just thought were me. I wasn't even not proud of them. That was my lifestyle. And I loved that. And that was fun to me. But what I did know is that I wanted to lose the baby weight. So I started doing one of these programs, and within 26 days, I'd seen a little bit of success. And my sister, Erin, said to me, like, you should coach. I'd never heard of coaching. I definitely was not an MLM person, right? But I had nothing to lose. And what I knew at my core was that I wanted to follow through on this commitment to lose the weight. So that's why I decided to start coaching. Little did I know that it was going to open this incredible door to so much more. And if I look back 3 years, I've been showing up. And I said today in my stories, I think that my superpower is treating every Monday like a Monday. You know, they say never miss a Monday. And that is exactly what coaching does for you. It allows you to show up week after week after week after week. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a transformation before you start. You don't need to be all in on the nutrition every single day for the rest of your life. You need to find a beautiful life of moderation in a healthy lifestyle. And that's truly what coaching does for you. So how can you, as a brand new coach, start off and live healthier and happier? These are sort of some tips that I would give you if you were a brand new coach starting right now. So if you already have access to BOD, start clicking around. One thing I notice with people that are like challengers or clients of Beachbodies before is that they find their favorites, right? Like, I love Joel or I love Bar, and they just keep repeating those programs. Instead, start clicking around, start investigating on BOD, because BOD becomes your tool belt for when you have women come to you and are like, I don't really know what I should do. And you're able to give them that advice. So start clicking around, start looking at the nutrition programs, start really seeing this incredible tool and how it could serve all sorts of women around you. Because the women that might join you aren't going to have all the exact same interests or needs. Maybe they want to gain muscle. So is there a program for that? And again, that's where you'll come back to your community and we help you build your tool belt. But I think that if it were me right now and I was thinking, like, I might start coaching in the next month, that's one thing that I would really, really be doing, is using BOD to try to dive in and figure out how it could make me a better coach and how I could learn a little bit more about it. And yeah, this is the ultimate accountability. So if you have a desire to live healthier, to live happier, I know for me, I wouldn't have been able to do it without this. I still have demons. I still have, struggles, but more than anything, I show up every single day and I have coaching to thank for it. So living healthier and happier is, to me, the best part of coaching. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Milan for number 2.
Thanks, Courtney. Hey guys, my name's Milan. I have been a coach for just over a year now, and I had a pretty big transformation with the Beachbody programs and started coaching and have absolutely loved it. But what I'm going to talk about today is how to get started with social media. So show of hands for people that have their video on. If you don't have your video on, go in the chat. Who is worried about the social media aspect on some level? Okay, I'm seeing hands. We'll see what comes up in the chat. Like, who's scared to post a workout video? Who has no idea how to use Instagram, or like has very few followers, or it's only like Uncle Joe and, your mama friends. And you're like, what am I going to do? How can this be my platform to run this business? Okay. So I think you can see from the show of hands and from the chat, like, you are not alone. I'm pretty sure literally every single person that starts this is terrified of the social media aspect. Literally when I started, I didn't have an Instagram account, or I had one and it had been started 5 years ago and I never checked in on it. When I went back, I had pictures of me and my ex-husband. Like, it was awkward. And so I was like, I don't even know what a story is. I don't even know how this works. I had no presence. I had no idea how to do anything. You guys, when I started, my first post was about meat, like meat that I had bought on sale, and I really wanted to share that I love to save money, and I just didn't know what to do. I had 5 people at the beginning following me. Like, one was my coach Aaron, one was my brother, and then I had my mom and my 2 best friends. Like, how was I going to do this? But over time, you just build that up. So if that's where you're starting, my point is it's okay. It's okay to start there, and it's okay to start where you are. Don't look at whoever your coach is that invited you. Don't look at their page and say, oh shoot, that's where I need to be. That's the level that I need to be at in terms of posting and content and whatnot. No, nobody started there. They all started with baby steps. And I'm going to give you some of those baby steps that you can start thinking about over the next couple of weeks. But really, the thing that can be scary also about social media is that's your platform to build your business. But people think I have to be salesy. I don't know how to be salesy. I don't want to be salesy on Instagram. That feels really icky. I think we probably are following or have seen a lot of people that are salesy, and it just doesn't feel good, right? So this is so not about sales. I don't think there's one woman on here that is a sales rep or has a sales background. We all have different backgrounds. It's about sharing your journey, your passion, your energy. Think about what you love about the coach that invited you and why you keep following them, why they motivate you. Are they being salesy? I'm pretty sure they're not. They're just sharing their journey, and you follow them along in that journey. And, why you started this and sharing your journey with the world is going to allow people to relate to you. So whether you're starting midway through your program or you've never done this before, sharing that journey, people are going to relate to you, and it's going to inspire them to start their own journey. So things that you can do is sharing what these programs have done for you. What has this community done for you? How your life has been impacted by this. I know so many of you, and I know there's some women on my team that are here. They've had amazing transformations inside and out. So it's really not about being a salesperson. It's about sharing what this has done for you and inviting your friends and your family and eventually strangers to join you. But if you are being salesy, it's going to be icky and it's just not going to work. So take the pressure off, be yourself and share your journey. So in terms of tactically things that you can do over the next couple of weeks, if you are scared of Instagram, is poke around, learn the stickers, learn how to do a story, post a picture of your meat. It's way easier to do this kind of stuff when nobody's watching you, when you only have 50 people or it's only your aunts and uncles. Who cares? If you mess up, who cares? And if you really mess up, just delete it because nobody has seen it anyways. Learn how to post a story. This is the first time to really play around with it. And something that you can do from like a coaching standpoint over the next few weeks, if you're like, I don't know what to post. Share, I did this a couple of months ago and it worked really well. I told people that I was going to share what I ate all day long. If all day long is daunting, like share what you're having for breakfast or share what you're having for dinner or your snack. Like pick something of your food and share that. You can also do stuff that's outside of like the Beachbody stuff. If you're doing these programs, you know, the holidays are coming up. Share your holiday decor. Share yourself like decorating your house or what you're thinking of getting for your Christmas presents, so that A, you get used to doing it. And B, people start engaging and seeing you and like seeing your bubble pop up in those stories, and they start being interested in your life and what's going on. You can also share something about your workout. You guys, this can be as simple as like your shoes on the floor. You know, you probably see lots of coaches and they have like this whole big robust thing that they do in the mornings with their workouts, and there's music and text and this. Like nobody started like that. Don't worry about it. Like just share your weights or share a picture, share a sweaty selfie of yourself afterwards. Like something so that your followers start kind of getting an idea of what you're doing, right? So that come January, like if you've been sprinkling in a couple of these things, a couple of workout things, a couple of nutrition things, maybe something about the community, come December or January, if you're like ready to start coaching and inviting them to join you, like to 9-week Control Freak, it's not completely random. They've at least have seen a little bit of your journey over the next few weeks. And you can start doing that now. Like you don't have to wait until, officially you have your coach account, et cetera, et cetera. So, for me, actually learning social media was really fun, and it still is. So I know it can seem really daunting at first, but like just learn it, learn something new. It's actually a ton of fun, and we're all learning at the same time. So I'm going to pass it over to Jen.
Awesome. Thanks, Milan. Hi, everyone. My name is Jen. I am a grade 4 teacher here in Ottawa and a mom of 2 young girls, one of which is right above me. So if you hear her yelling, sorry, she's a 3-year-old. Can't really control it. But I want to share a little bit about my journey getting started with Beachbody. So I was actually the one that Courtney was talking about at the beginning of the call, who she had asked me to do this a lot. I watched her journey and was super inspired and was shouting her from the rooftops to my friends, and she would invite me to join. I'd be like, ooh, no thanks. Love what you're doing, but not for me. I loved paying $90 a month to belong to my very beautiful gym that I hardly ever went to. I felt above home workouts, all of the things. But she finally convinced me and said, why don't you just go all in? I was 4 months postpartum. And so I did. I went all in and I did an 80-day program. I lost 30 pounds, 25 inches. And I started my Instagram before my thought of coaching even was in existence. I went back and looked through. I was sharing my journey, and so it's kind of a natural progression for me. But, when I was approached about coaching, again, it wasn't for me. I cared a lot about what people would think. And that was something that I really, really held me back for a long time. Like, not into the whole MLM thing or network marketing thing. I was really scared of other people's judgment. So I'll raise a hand like Milan did. I'm going to piggyback off that. Who here or drop in the chat is really concerned about what people are going to say or what people are going to think or how people are going to judge them? Absolutely. And if your hand isn't up, I know it should be. Because at the end of the day, we care a lot about what people think, and that's okay. It's part of our natural human function, the way we're supposed to be. But a big part of being a coach and being on this coach journey is getting to the root of that and really finding out, like, where can you find that confidence to overcome and really go for what it is that you want to get out of this opportunity. And so a big part of that is personal development. So I started off really excited, and the wind kind of got taken out of my sails a couple times when I got thinking about like, ooh, what are people going to think, or what is so-and-so going to say? And that's when I really started to dive into personal development. And you guys, I freaking loved it. I had never touched a self-help book in my life. That whole stigma of like, ooh, there's special people in chapters that go to that section of the bookstore. But not true. It really, really resonated with me, and it really touched me, and it helped me to find the confidence that helped me to really flourish in this position and in this coaching opportunity. there's something about, there's two things that this coaching really requires, and it's authenticity and then action. And so when it comes to the PD, getting really real with yourself about what are some of the things that you're scared of? What are some of the opinions that you're scared of? Maybe why do you think those things are holding you back? And what I would really encourage you to do, if this is something that you are considering, don't let that get in your way, because we've all felt like that in the beginning, and we all have the opportunity to overcome it. But sometimes it takes a little bit of that inner work. And so personal development is something that is readily available to everyone. There are thousands of podcasts. Personally, as a busy mom and teacher, I don't find that I have a lot of time to sit down and read a book, as nice as that sounds. It's not really practical. So I really fell into listening to Audible books on Amazon, and I got hooked and listened to them all the time when I'm driving, folding laundry, doing the groceries, you name it. I'm listening to Audible books, and it's all personal development. And what it's done for me is it's really helped me boost my confidence and be able to dig deep and really find who I am on the inside. And I feel like I have totally flourished in the last 2.5 years that I've been doing this. And it's all because of that personal development. So as an action step, what I would say to you is, if you're thinking about this, if you get off this call and you're considering, what are some of the things that are holding me back? What are some of the things that are maybe worrying me? Maybe what are some of those opinions that I'm concerned about? Get on Google and look up some, podcasts or Audible books that you think might help you overcome some of those. And in our training, we do cover and give a lot of really good suggestions for books and podcasts and things that have really worked for a lot of us or resonated with us. So that's something that we share in our training. But I'm going to pass it on to Erin now.
Hey everybody, nice to see so many familiar faces here tonight. My name's Erin, for those of you who don't know me. I've been coaching now almost 3 years, which kind of blows my mind. Like the others in the beginning, this was never something I thought I would do. I've always been like a high achiever, high performer. Right out of university, I went into the workforce, and I like skyrocketed through the workforce. I've been in leadership positions for a long time now. And when I first started thinking of doing this, I was like, oh God, like, what is everybody at work going to think about me? Like, how is this going to come across in my professional world? How could I do this and also still remain respectful, like maintaining my reputation and being a professional at work? And not only that, I was like Jen, worried of the judgment, but also like I had no time. I've got 2 kids, they're both in rink sports. And then with a full-time busy job, I literally had no time to begin with. So finding time to do anything extra really seemed laughable. But ultimately, I just felt drawn to it. And it was something that now looking back, I know it was my calling and I was meant to do it. But ultimately, I ended up going for it. And the way I get asked often how I'm able to juggle it all, how I'm able to make it happen. And so I wanted to share with you guys a little bit tonight about time management and how you could make this fit into your life too. So what I did in the beginning, so I did like a real honest time audit of my day and my time. And that meant taking from the hour I woke up to the hour I went to bed, and like hour by hour identified what I was doing with my time. And that might seem a little crazy to you, but it's very eye-opening to see day after day how you're spending your time and how much time maybe in there is like wasted or used scrolling or used just like sitting on the couch or travel time or sitting with colleagues or having a coffee here and there. And it really helped me to identify that I did have some hours in the day that I would be willing to sacrifice the activity I was doing before in order to build something. Like I said, my personality has always been very goal driven. I've always been a high achiever. And I knew that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it well. And if I was going to put my reputation on the line by putting myself out there on social media, I was going to do it in a way that felt honorable, respectful, and meaningful to me. Because ultimately, I wanted to do this to help other people. I wanted to have more impact in my life. I wanted to have a bit of more of a fulfilling role. My leadership role in my day job is incredible. But this is just like impacting people at the core. And there's just something more fulfilling about that. So I knew if I was going to go all in, I wanted it to be honorable, respectful, and professional. So I found time within my days that I was going to be able to do this business. What I did at the beginning is that I forfeited every single one of my lunch hours. I stopped going out for lunch with colleagues. I stopped doing that, like working extra hours at my desk. Every single lunch hour, I worked this business. And I also started forfeiting watching TV at night on the couch slothing. So once my kids went to bed around 8 o'clock, between 8 and 10, I worked this business. That gave me, right from the beginning, 3 hours a day that I was willing to work this business. Now, for me, I looked at that right away as this is a business opportunity. I'm now becoming an entrepreneur, and I wanted to be a success and achiever in my day job working for somebody else. If I'm now building my own business, like hell, this business isn't going to be a success, and I'm going to make my own entrepreneurial venture a success. That's the thing about this opportunity, is that this is your opportunity to build your own brand, be your own business, be your own CEO, be your own boss, build your own everything. And to me, that was like a grand opportunity to switch my mindset of working for somebody else and start working for myself and building something for myself. So those 3 hours a day I used to do specific tasks, focused tasks at specific times. So I knew that at my lunch hour, that was 3 20-minute blocks. And I did 3 different tasks in those 3 20-minute blocks. In my experience, honestly, people with less time are more effective and efficient because they don't have time to waste. I would beg to say that there are days where I am more efficient than my sister who's at home and has all day long to do the same task. It's true. If you have less time, you're more efficient, as long as you're disciplined and you're focused enough to knowing, okay, this is what I want to get done during this time. So I'm excited for you guys. In the beginning, when I started, it was truly like, I guess I'll see where this goes. Now, 3 years later, I'm like so excited that I'm betting on myself and doing something for myself rather than working for somebody else. So I'm excited to have you guys all here. I can't wait for 2021. I feel like I could talk all night, but I'm going to pass it over to Sarah, who's next.
Hey guys, my name is Sarah. I am the mom of 2 young, busy boys. I'm also a full-time teacher, and I've been coaching for just over a year now. And I remember when I was first invited to the coaching opportunity, it was like, yeah, no, like not for me. And I had this like massive list of reasons why this wasn't something that I was going to do. But long story short, the reason I decided to say yes to coaching is I needed that extra accountability in my own journey. I wanted these new healthy changes that I was making in my life turn into something that was long-term, turn into a lifestyle change. And the only way I was going to follow through with that was with some extra accountability. And honestly, the last year has been completely life-changing for me. So I want to talk a little bit about why you should step into the coaching role now and start your own business now, and why this really is the perfect time. First reason is like the obvious one. The whole world wants to be healthier in January, right? January is right around the corner, and this is the time that people decide they want to start making these healthy changes. So by you stepping into the coaching role now, you slowly starting to talk about it, sharing about it, when these people are looking to join in January, February, and March, they've been watching what you're doing, right? They see that you are being consistent. They see that you're loving it. They see that you're getting results. And when they're looking to join, you are the person that they already know, like, and trust, right? So they are looking to you when they're looking to make those changes. The second reason, like, I don't know about you, but this whole COVID business has lasted way longer than I ever expected. And so many people are struggling for so many different reasons. Like, people are missing that lack of community, like that sense of community. People are missing the ability to go out to a gym, to go to a fitness class. People are staying home and stress eating or eating because they're bored. And people are not in a great place for so many different reasons. And I truly believe, like, to my core, that this community and these programs, like, we have the solution to a lot of these problems, right? And we have the opportunity to really be a light in these uncertain times when people really aren't feeling their best. But that starts with showing up now, while these people have these problems, so we can help them fix it. And then the third reason is really exciting, and that is a brand new program that's coming out in December. It's called 9 Week Control Freak. It's by, I want to say, one of the most popular trainers, but it's probably the most popular trainer, Autumn. And the really cool thing about program launches, guys, is the whole concept of doing it together. Like, yes, we're all in this community, we all do our own programs, but it is so powerful when you're doing a program with a group of people. You're just more likely to show up every day, to push harder. You know, everyone else is literally in the exact same boat as you. And like, even thinking of my own personal experiences, when was my own transformation its best? When did my clients get their best results? And when did my business grow the most? Program launch, program launch, program launch. Like, over the last year, every single time, looking back at my calendar, those are the times where I've had the most success. So this program is launched to coaches on December 7th, so we can get early access to it. We can check it out. It's available for clients on December 21st. So by you starting now and starting to share your journey and being able to be a part of this launch and bring this momentum into 2021, honestly, I think it would be so beneficial if this business is something that you truly want to explore. So I have some very small action steps for you to take so you can take advantage of what honestly is like the perfect time to get started. First thing, start thinking like, who do you want to do these programs with? When you do 9-week Control Freak in January, like, who do you want to be doing it with, right? Think of your best friends, think of your sisters, think of people that you work with, and then your goal, find 3 people to do it with you. However many people you have to ask, like the first people who joined me were my mom and my aunt. Right? Find 3 people to do this with you, and then reach out to the coach who invited you to this webinar and ask them, okay, when is your community doing this? Like, what is the start date? How can I get plugged in? And how can I get my 3 people plugged in? Like, as simple as that. Find some people, reach out to your coach, and let's get everybody set up. Honestly, like I said, like last year, completely life-changing for me. It was a terrifying decision for me to step into the coaching role, but looking back, like easily one of the best decisions I've made. And I just quickly want to share like my 3 reasons why, in hopes that some of it resonates with you guys. The first one, similar to Courtney, was accountability in my own journey. And at this point now, I'm close to down 60 pounds, and I would not have gotten anywhere close to this if I wasn't a coach. Guaranteed. I didn't think this was possible for me. But there's been so many mornings where I like literally peel myself out of bed because I know people are looking for me, they're waiting for me, and they're depending on me to show up. So that coach role really, truly does bring your accountability to the next level. The second reason is the impact it's had on the people in my life who I'm the closest with, the people in my life who I love the most. My parents, my sister, my brother-in-law, aunts, uncles. At the school I teach at, like everybody does Beachbody. Like literally so many people in my life have started to make their health a priority simply because I was brave enough to share what I was doing and I invited them to join me. And then the third reason, guys, is the income potential. And honestly, like I thought it was kind of a load of BS at the beginning. I didn't think people made money doing this. I assumed that the people who did had some kind of upper hand. And I came into this with like no intention of making anything. I'm like, awesome. If I could pay for my Shakeology, like this hobby of mine wouldn't cost me anything. That would be a bonus. But with a lot of hard work over the last year, this has relieved a lot of financial stress from my home. And more importantly, it allows my husband and I to think of the future in a different way and dream of different things that honestly, without coaching and without the business opportunity, never would have been possible. So if any of those 3 things kind of like hit home with you, honestly, sit down and really think about it, because now is the time to get into it. With January, with all the gyms closed, with the program launch, with our entire sisterhood team, like looking at 2021, like ready to crush it. This is the time to join. Like we're ready for you to be with us. And yeah, I'll pass it off to you, Court, on that note.
Thank you so much, ladies. You know, this team is something that we are all so proud of. Sarah, Milan, and Jen, they all run their own team. They have their own community and coaches and challengers, clients within it. What's beautiful is that we all come together, and it's not just for things like this. It's weekly for calls, it's in chats, it's really truly a community of women that mostly don't even know each other, but we have found ourselves in this space where we are so so like-minded and encouraging each other to really be our best going forward. I want to just tell you that who you join matters in this business. I really believe that. I have seen women join a team that maybe didn't have any momentum or wasn't taking this business seriously. And I want you to know that the sisterhood and all the associated teams on this call take this business really seriously. That doesn't mean you need to take it as seriously as us. You can treat this like a hobby, and that's beautiful, and you're welcome in our community, or you can treat this like a business with us and build something really big, and you're welcome as well in that way. So, sometimes when we are faced with an opportunity that's a little bit outside the box and a little bit scary, it's really easy to think about why we couldn't do it or maybe why we wouldn't be good at it. I really want to leave you with a challenge to sit down and think about a couple of reasons why you would be really good at this. And that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for spending the past half an hour with us. I really encourage you to reach out to the coach that invited you for any questions you might have to follow up. Hope you guys all have a great night.